Good morning, guys. Good morning. I hope everyone is having a wonderful morning. I am here with my husband, and we are here celebrating my father in law, hoping that he has a wonderful Father's Day this weekend. And so I am still at the hotel, and my husband is out fishing on this lovely Saturday morning. So they had a little breakfast, and I'm just gonna eat and talk to you this morning. And I had something on my mind, so that's why I want to come on. Um, so I hope I don't start smacking, but and I try not to be too long, but I get a little long-winded. Um, I've let my waffle get a little cold, and my syrup has kind of soaked in my bread, and I really don't like that. You know how you like your syrup to just kind of be showing, like you want to see the sugar all on your stuff, and I like the syrup to just kind of be running off my waffles, and so I kind of let it sit here, and it kind of got soaked up. But what I wanted to talk to you guys about this morning was something has been puzzling me, and I often wonder why, as a woman, why am I not going out fellowshipping with other women, and not just other women, with other Christians, other saints, other women of God who are believing the same thing that I'm believing. Why am I not fellowshipping? Why am I not calling people, inviting them over, or inviting them out to eat, or what have you? And why aren't people calling me and inviting me? Now, granted, um, I do get some invites. Some I accept, and then some I turn down. And why is that, I wonder? I was thinking about the scripture, Hebrews 10 and 25, where it talks about uh, not forsaking to assemble ourselves together with one another. And the pastors always talk about it pertaining to coming to church. But I really feel like we can still use that same scripture in the natural as far as fellowshipping outside of church, with the saints, because it also says that the purpose of it is to exhort one another. And even though we're at church exhorting one another, we need to exhort one another outside of church, outside of the four walls. And we don't do that. We don't do that as women, and women of God especially. Most Christians that I know, most women of God, they keep to themselves. They don't go out and fellowship outside of church, and they're like secluded. And so I started, and I'm one of those people. I will confess, I'm one of those people. And I started wondering, why don't I go anywhere? And I think it's because um, we don't want to be judged. We don't want to be attacked. We don't want to receive messy, be in the presence of messy people, or we don't want to, you know, be around people that's just going to drag us into something that we don't really want to be associated with. And it's not that we feel like we're better than other people, but it's that you have to guard yourself. You really have to really guard yourself when you are, people in the natural as well. People that are non-ministers have to guard themselves as well. So just be careful regardless. But I'm mainly just talking about um, women ministers, uh, females that are in the ministry, whether you're a pastor, a a regular Sunday minister, an evangelist, an apostle. whatever your role is, whatever your title is, just as a Christian, and regular and Christians too. So I take that back. Not just in the ministry, or in a ministerial role. Just normal Christians. Why don't we hang out with other Christians? And everyone calls themselves a Christian. So someone would say, "Yeah, I'm a Christian. I believe." And then when you try to go out, they acting all foolish, and you like that's not they. We don't jive together. So I believe for me, I have a different personality. I'm not gonna say that I'm type A, although my husband may say that, but I'm more of a passive aggressive person. I only get or become aggressive if I need to, opposed to other Christian females that may be really aggressive, and they hold no stops, and they're just very vocal. Some people say I'm vocal, but they're just very vocal, and you don't know what to do with that. With me, I say I'm passive aggressive because I grew up. I think I was on the quiet side. Some people say I like to talk, but I can be quiet. I can be very quiet. I can be very uh, secluded. I can be standoffish at times. And I think people just don't understand that about me. But the reason I'm like that is because aggressive people, I don't take well to aggressive people. If you are aggressive, then I really just don't want to hang around you. If you are loud, because I'm not a loud person. If you're like really, really loud, I don't have time for all of that. That's not my personality. So I think sometimes just women of God, we may not be, we're comparable in the spiritual sense because we share the same God, and we share, we believe in the same word, and we're teaching and preaching the same thing. So we're in unity in the spirit, but in the natural we're not. Our comparability just doesn't match. Just like being equally yoked. We always talk about the man and the woman getting ready to get married or dating. You got to be equally yoked. But I mean, come on, we got to use that scripture in the natural as well. And you trying to create friends and find the right friends that match your personality. That's hard. And if I'm a quiet person and someone else may be a loud person, they're always laughing so loud, and they talking loud, and they just talking on and on again, we may not jive, and that's okay. We may not connect in the natural, but we may connect in the spirit because we can talk about the word. But I personally, I wouldn't want a friend, or I wouldn't want to hang around a friend 24/7 if all they're talking about is the church and the Bible. I want some natural and some Christian friends that knows how to balance and keep it balanced as well. So you really have to think about who you are compatible with. Look at your personality versus theirs, and I think that is my problem. I would say I really would have to just kind of look at um, you know, who I'm compatible with as a friend, and it's not the other person's fault per se. You can't get mad at, because they could be looking at you and say, "Well, she's not compatible for me," and that's okay. But we as women, we do not fellowship, and Christian women, we we stay secluded. We just don't invite people out. I don't know if it's that we think, um, that people are gonna get us caught up, if we feel like we are easily to fall into temptation, or if this is the best way to keep ourselves out of harm's way, to just be by ourselves. But no, I mean, we need to be able to fellowship together too. not forsaking to assemble ourselves together with one another to exhort our sisters in the Lord and be able to just lift them up. Sometimes, Christian women, or in ministers, we're struggling back here. We're sitting at home, no one to talk to. We don't reach out to anyone. We don't call anyone to share because we're afraid that people are going to share your business. That's another thing. Women talk too much. Yes, I said it. We talk too much. We tell each other's business. And then when it gets back, we question the person and they'll say, well, you didn't tell me not to tell it. Do I have to tell you everything? Do I have to put that stamp on it? Make sure you don't tell it. Make sure you don't tell, what I'm trying to tell you. It should be such a trust. It's hard for us to trust. It should be such a trust that I shouldn't have to tell you every time I'm having a conversation with you. I shouldn't have to tell you, don't tell anybody. That's just like so old. It's so childlike. But if I can't trust you, then I'm not going to talk. You won't get much out of me. So I think we have trust issues. I think we have compatibility issues. We're not balanced in the word, as far as being able to know when to not have to just talk about church in the Bible, as far as opposed to being able to switch it on, switch it off, and be able to talk to someone about their life, about their job or their family, what's going on. Find out how that other person is doing. You don't always have to, and you don't always have to be the one talking. And let me tell you something. This is the secret. Silence does not mean that there's a void, in the conversation. You don't have to just keep talking when there's silence. Sometimes let silence be silence. You don't have to keep going on and on. It's okay to have silence. I just think that this is a conversation that we really need to have, because I don't have all the answers. And what I would like to do is create some type of podcast or live video. And I may do that on Facebook, but get with your female sisters in the Lord and compare, just kind of compare your personality to some others and see who you are compatible with. Everyone in the church will not hang out with everyone in the church, And yes, people have their cliques. I do understand that. But I wonder if it's because they're not compatible with you. And so sometimes cliques could be a good thing. Sometimes they can be a bad thing. Most of the time they're a bad thing. But if you know how to balance it out, then you'll be okay. But just, don't get together and try to start gossiping, But so yeah, I don't go out much, and I do keep to myself more than I would like to. I would like to get out, but I do look at other people's personality. I look at their lifestyle, and if it's not compatible for me, if it's not going to bring anything to the table for me personally, then I push back, and if they're too aggressive, I push back. So I have my application. Everyone has like a private application that they're handing out, and if you don't fit the bill, then you don't get hired. You're not qualified, to be, my friend. So don't just accept all these applications. Don't accept everyone and try to make them qualified to be your friend. Everyone is not meant to be your friend. But we do need to start looking and reevaluating ourselves and seeing who is compatible for us and reaching out to our sisters, because our Christian sisters, our sisters do need to be uplifted, and we do need to exhort one another. So I do encourage you to reevaluate yourself and try it again. Even if you've been hurt, try it again, and that's what I'm going to do. I challenge everyone to do that. I'm going to start, seeing how I can reach out more to people that's in my compatibility realm or circle, and I'm going to do better about that, because I do feel like we should uplift our sisters more. And whether they are Christians or not, we need to uplift women, period. As the kids say, period. We need to uplift them, and we need to do better. We need to do better. So let's put away some of the pride, and let's find out who's compatible, lift them up, hang out with them. But that doesn't mean don't go and uplift someone that's not compatible to you. Still uplift them. If they have on a nice outfit, give them a compliment. That doesn't mean you have to hang out, with them. If they're down on their luck, witness to them, encourage them, find out what they need. If they need groceries, buy them groceries. Just uplift our sisters. Give them a word of encouragement. Let's give them the word. And let's just do better. So let's have some dialogue about this. And how do you feel about what I'm saying today? Put your comments below, and I promise you, I'm not sure if it will be on YouTube or Facebook, but I definitely want to have some kind of feedback, and I would love to do a live and just have people to come, and speak their truth about what's going on. All right, so as you can see, my waffle was not to my liking. So I'm just gonna eat this banana as I get ready to close out today, and this is probably what I should have had anyway. So until next time, you be blessed. Bye bye. Love you guys.